You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
The views expressed by the individuals during this broadcast are their own opinions, and they may not be the same as those of their group or other organizations they may be involved with.
Warning: adult topics and content. You must be legal age of majority in your location to view. We are an educational, informative talk show, and our hosts may express their opinions passionately using explicit language. No offense is intended. Take a break and tune in for some great cannabis and psychedelic chit-chat. Learn what's going on in the cannabis industry, find out what's new on the review, and enjoy a laugh or two. Join us for today's Tokin Talk here on the Pace Radio Network with Reverend Cindy and Green Irene.
Hey everybody, how you doing? Green Irene is not able to make it today, or at least for the beginning, so it is just me. I get to talk to myself again. Woo! Gosh, this is all kind of last minute. I wasn't expecting it, so I am not sure. So what do we want to talk about today? I'm going to have a tea. I'm going to have a toke, and I'm going to stammer over my words for 5 seconds, but it'll all be okay. I will get it. I will start talking. It'll be good. I have been reading a lot of stuff in the past couple of days about psychedelics in the news, which has been really, really cool. I'm a psychonaut, or becoming a psychonaut, I should say. I'm not quite fully there yet, but I am getting there. I enjoy getting messages at the same time. I enjoy learning about psychedelics, and I have enjoyed what I have done so far. They're very healing and they're very amazing. So I've been reading a lot about it. Australia is actually stepping up and doing a bunch of stuff, which I find strange, because they did go so slow with the cannabis, but they are coming forward with the I'm just still getting messages. They're just popping up. They're going faster with psychedelics than they did do with cannabis. And I find that absolutely fantastic, but just kind of funny at the same time. But psilocybin has been seriously, everybody's been looking at it for depression and for depression and for, gosh, there's so much that it helps with. They've been studying it, effects on alcoholism. So it's been really kind of cool. It's been a lot of fun to watch this, and I'm really excited to do the show on Thursday with Glenn, because we add more psychedelics to that, and I have just the last 2 days I've seen a lot of stuff pop up, so there's going to be a lot of choices in that for sure. Golly gosh, now what do I talk about? I'm sure that I will find stuff to talk about. Here's something. I've been searching for Cambo. I'm staying on the topic of psychedelics. It's one of the things that I absolutely love talking about is psychedelics. So I can usually get babbling about those quite well. I've been on the hunt for Cambo. It is a psychedelic that helps to heal the body as well as the mind, spirit, and soul. And I have found different Cambo practitioners, but it just doesn't work out. They go on hiatus, or there's always something that will stop me will stop the ceremony from happening. And I think that's because I'm supposed to go a certain way with it, and I wasn't seeing that way. One of our new hosts here on the station is a Cambo practitioner, which I found out the day before my last practitioner decided that he was going to go on hiatus and tell us. So I think the universe is telling me I need to go practice Cambo with her. So I reached out to her. We haven't had much of a chat yet. I haven't been able to read her reply, but I'm really feeling really great about heading that way. So I'm gonna. It just proves that, you should always, if something's important to you, keep trying. And just because the first time or twice or thrice doesn't work out, if it's meant to be, it will. And psychedelics have taught me that. I've never believed it before in my life. I've always, up until I found iboga, really, I've always been one of those types of people that got really anxious if something didn't work out. And if it didn't work out the first time, like, should I even bother trying the second time? And iboga has taught me that, yeah, you should. You should keep trying. If it's important to you, you should keep trying. So that's what I'm doing with the Cambo. I'm going to keep trying. I'm going to find a practitioner that will work with me, which I think I have found one now. And I am really excited to do that. I'm just keeping an eye, because I'm still kind of hoping that Green Irene will be able to free herself up and pop in for part of the show. So I'm just keeping an eye on my phone, in case you're wondering why I'm looking down. Every time I get a message, I look down to see what's going on. So yeah, I'm the third time should work out. So I'm really excited about that. And that's something that we can learn for, that will go with life, in any situation. If something means something to you, keep trying. As long as you're not hurting somebody else, keep trying. And Cambo is not, me not getting Cambo and keeping to try to do it obviously isn't. But yeah, keep trying. It's a great lesson. I also had a lesson in patience this past week. Yay. I need those lessons. I got an advent calendar, which I started on December 1st and last Thursday, matter of fact. It wasn't what it was supposed to be. It wasn't what was advertised. So I ended up reaching out to the people, and I spoke up, and, I didn't have patience at first, but I learned that I really needed to have patience. They eventually replied to me and made it right, which is the right thing to do. And I don't know where I was going with this, because my mind is still thrown that I'm talking to myself. I'm not used to talking to myself anymore. I've had a co-host for a month now. Golly gosh, Irene and I have been doing this for a month. Well, that's kind of exciting. So yeah, I got this advent calendar because I like to feel like a kid too. So I got myself a cannabis advent calendar to count down December. And it was supposed to be just flower. It wasn't, but they're fixing it. And the edible one that I bought, that was gifted to me, I bought the cannabis one, the edible one. Now, let me tell you, what an advent calendar. It's amazing. Everything has been 50 milligrams or more so far. I'm on day 7? Today's the 7th. Today's the 6th. So today is Tuesday, December 6th. I'm on day 6. Everything that I have pulled out so far has been 50 milligrams or above. Everything that I have pulled out so far has been massively tasty. It's been absolutely phenomenal. What did I pull out today? Today I ended up with 100 milligrams of something, if I could find it. They sent me shatter capsules, and they're 2 times 50 milligram THC. So they're shatter caps, and they're 50 milligrams. So this is really actually pretty phenomenal. I'm really excited about it. I'm going to see Glow on Sunday with my friend, the Glow light show that we have here in Halifax. So I'm probably going to take one of these when I go in there, because I don't have a high tolerance. I can't do 100 milligrams. Pardon me. So I'm really excited for that, and take those and go running around and looking at all the lights and whatnot. I think it'll be phenomenal. So they're edibles. Their edibles are bang on. If you are in Ontario and want to know where to go get some of the best edibles I've had, mind you, I've had a few edibles. I've got 3 places for you that I would suggest to go. But if you want to go into a dispensary and take a look around, this place is great. Message me. I'll tell you who they are and where they are, and you can run off and pay them a visit, and get some edibles. They sent me day 2, I think it was a blueberry cheesecake chocolate. It was yummy. It really was. It was absolutely delicious. I really enjoyed it. It was phenomenal. I haven't eaten yesterday's yet. It was an indica, and I haven't eaten it yet. I'll probably use it tonight when I go to bed. But this is a lemon sherbet starburst candy. So it's a chewy toffee type candy in lemon, which I'm really excited about. I love lemon candies. So it's a wonder I didn't eat that last night. I don't know why I didn't eat that last night, but it was phenomenal. was really, really good. The blueberry cheesecake chocolate. Yeah. I'm used to making like just white or dark or, I'm not used to, I personally don't make them. I mean, the fanciest I get is making peanut butter balls or peanut butter cups or candy cane white chocolate, which is really flipping good. Yeah. Yeah, so it was good. I still haven't lit my joint, so I'm going to light my joint, and I'm going to say cheers. You guys all light up with me if you have one. Cheers. What am I smoking? What am I smoking? Tom Ford. I had to think about what I was smoking. It is Tom Ford. And pretty yummy stuff. One of my favorite ones. For sure. Although I am finding that I am not as much into the pink anymore as I was, say, a month ago. And that's something that I've learned. Like over time, what you want for terpenes change. So I spent probably 2 years smoking anything that I can get my hands on that had pink in it, pink kush. And I'm starting to notice it's still good, but it doesn't satisfy that medical need. Do you know what I mean? I got new stickers in. I'm always excited when I get new stickers in. And so I got some new mushroom stickers in. I mean, I just have handfuls of them, right? Oh, I like that one. Ooh, something's going to fall. Oh, that one looks like it's got eyes. That one's actually kind of cool. Do you see that? Yeah, so I got some new stickers in. I got some, obviously I got some of those. What else did I get? I don't know. Oh, and I got some new cannabis stickers in too. I love stickers. I go on the Wish app, and I order them on there. They're pretty awesome. It's inexpensive. It takes a while for them to get to you, but then you end up with some really cool stickers, right? So I get 2 packs of these. Ooh, the next one's really cool. Okay, and I like this one too. I gotta stop doing this. Look. Smoke weed. Enjoy your fucking life. There's that swear word again. I bet my soul smells like weed. I need that for a tattoo. Weed is good. I could sit here and show you stickers forever. I have boxes of stickers. I am a sticker fanatic. And that was kind of neat. Oh my God. Okay, I'm keeping this one. That one's going on my computer. So I'm a sticker fanatic. I am. I really, really am. I'm going to give some of these away today. For sure. That one and that one. Yeah. I've had a love for stickers since I was a kid. Absolutely. And my heart stickers are small ones now, but they're really pretty. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're really awesome. So, yeah. I'm having a good laugh at myself because I'm stammering over my words, and I usually don't do this. Most of the times I don't do this. So like I'm just lost at the moment. But I'm finding myself. So let's talk about my hometown. The last time I was lost and I was stammering, I just started telling people about my hometown. So I live in a little tiny town of Windsor, Nova Scotia. Windsor, Nova Scotia, Canada. We are in the middle, quite literally, pretty much in the middle of the province. Not necessarily from east to west, but from north to south. We are smack dam in the middle of the province. And Windsor is known for a lot of wonderful things. One of the things that we are known for is we are the birthplace of the great Canadian game of ice hockey. Believe it or not. The game was invented here. They used to play a game in the fields here in Windsor. Let me have a drink of my tea. They used to play this game called Hurley. More messages coming in. I had to look. It was called Hurley, very similar to hockey, very similar to rugby type idea, kind of and they used to play it on the grass. It was called Hurley, and they had these Hurley sticks and whatnot. And they would get bored at the boys' school here in Windsor, Nova Scotia, called, what was it called? It was King's College at the time, called King's College. Huh, I get talking about my little town. And the boys would get bored in the wintertime, and they'd want something to do. So having two ponds that were very close to the school, they would go down to these ponds, and they started playing this Hurley game on ice. And they called it Ice Hurley. And very similar to hockey, they changed the rules up a bit. They took pieces of branches off trees that would be about the size of a puck, and they'd cut them up. And they would have they'd get 20 pucks out of this, and they'd play it, and they'd lose a puck, and they just pull another one out of the pile, and off they'd go. The game caught on. So this is back in 1800, and the game caught on. People started playing it. They started making planned games instead of just the boys running down from the college and being bored and playing it. The game caught wind going across the country, going across the continent of America. And eventually a gentleman in Dartmouth, and I can't remember his name. I do apologize. Normally, I used to have all this stuff memorized. A gentleman in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia, who made ice skates, eventually made the first hockey ice skate. So what he did is, the hole that goes you have the boot, and then you have the skate, and it's held on by a little bit, and you have a hole. Well, the puck was always passing through that hole or getting caught in one of the boys' skates and whatnot. So he put extra metal supports in there that would stop the puck from getting lodged in the skate, so therefore they could actually play the game without the interruption of having to take the puck out of the skate. Again, more proof that Nova Scotia is the birthplace of hockey. So these two little ponds that the boys used to go down on, one was called Long Pond, and nobody can remember the name of the other pond. We are not sure when the historians have read the notes from the boys that were left and the people that witnessed it. They're not sure which of the ponds was actually Long Pond. So most people kind of say, listen, it was both. If one was full, they went to the other. It doesn't really matter which one was actually Long Pond. Some people really care. Most people don't. But it's really cool that it was birthed here. And one of the ponds, there's a little tour that you can go on, and you can go down by the pond, and there's some stuff that's put up, things that are put up that you read when you go to places. And I can't think of the name right now, but that's okay. I think you might all know what I'm talking about. So it's pretty awesome being from this town and being a lover of the game of ice hockey and finding out that it actually comes from here. It's really kind of neat. So I mean, Windsor has built on that. And the two guys that found it, they were actually best friends. They had met when they were 7. They were best friends. They were best friends right up until they were 70. Loved the game of hockey. And one day they said, you know what, we should find out where this came from, figuring they were going to end up somewhere over in the UK or down in the States or wherever. They did not even fathom the idea that they would follow this game around the world backwards and end up right back where they started, which is kind of neat, right? Like these two men, they started when they were in their, I don't know, mid 60s type thing. And for years they worked together, and they researched back the game of hockey. And they ended up coming back to their home freaking town, which is just really cool, right? It's just really, really neat that these two in particular did this and found that out. They started a little hockey museum here in Windsor that told some of the stories. And that's how I know so much, actually, is because I was the curator of that museum for 2 years. And I loved working there, but it didn't fathom being able to stay open very much. And we didn't get enough people coming in. We thought that the fact that we were the birthplace of hockey would take off and people would flock and people would come to see. And it didn't build up that fast. It is building up, but going much slower than anticipated. So they smallened up the museum, and they put it in with another historical place here in Nova Scotia, and that's okay. I moved on to other things. But it was really cool. Like, I mean, when I worked there, I learned a lot about the game of hockey. The Mi'kmaq here in Nova Scotia actually were the first makers of the hockey stick. And they would go out and they would look for dead trees that had the perfect roots coming off them. So they would come down nice and straight, and they would have that nice curve, because then all they'd have to do is take the wood away that wasn't the hockey stick. So that curve was natural. They didn't make that curve. They didn't put sticks together. The Mi'kmaq went out and found the perfect trees that were dead, because they didn't kill trees, right? So and they would carve out hockey sticks from it. It's really cool. So it's like everybody was here in the area. Everybody was involved in this game. Eventually, they took the pucks and they started, instead of using wood, they cut pieces of leather and glued them together. It made for a better puck. That eventually led to the plastic, and then the newer rubber that we know and use today. So it's really, really cool. My little town being the hometown of hockey here in little old Windsor, Nova Scotia, with the great big population of 3,000 people. But we were way back then. Of course, we were much larger than we are today, not in size, but the fact that we were central, the fact that we had the perfect docking point, the fact that we had Nova Scotia's boys' college. There was a lot of things going on here back then. And, so Windsor may be a tiny, tiny little town now, but it was very significant back in those days. And, we made hockey, and it was really, really cool. Lots of fun. The college is now, there was two colleges, just so you know. There was the boys' college called King's College, and then there was the girls' school, not a college, the girls' school called Edgehill Girls' School. The boys went to college, the girls went to school. They eventually combined the two of them. They figured that the boys and the girls could go to school together, and now the school is called King's Edgehill School, and it is based where King's College was. And the Edgehill Girls' School eventually became, it got turned into an apartment building. I actually rented an apartment there years ago. I lived there. I lived in, because it was run by nuns, the girls' school. And they had the nuns' quarters, which were gorgeous. And I actually rented one of the nuns' apartments. So yeah, it was pretty cool. That my apartment is actually burnt down. The nuns' quarters are burnt down. I knew a couple of people that were living there at the time, and yeah. So, but it was a beautiful spot. They used to have a pool in there and everything. It was a great spot to live. I had an outside entrance and my own entrance. It was fantastic. Yeah, but it was quite old. And of course, one tiny little spark and the place went up. Wouldn't have taken much to set that place on fire, for sure. And sadly, there were 2, 4, 6, 7 apartments, like larger apartments that went there. I think they saved the rest of the place though. But it was kind of scary. Everybody got out of that fire and no pets were lost. So that's really cool. It took one pet a week to come back, because the pet got out and took off. And it took them about a week to come back, but they came back, and it was we all cheered, the whole town. It's like, yay, they were got their pet back. It was a cat. Yeah. So yeah, that's one of the stories about my little town, Windsor, Nova Scotia. I am coming up to break. After the break, I'm going to come in and I've got the entrance written down. I don't have the wheel, so I'm going to put the entrance in a hat and we're going to pull a name out. So I've got that written down and that ready to go. And I will let Irene know who won, because she has today's prize, and we will get that sent out. And then I will also tell you about what I'm going to give away this week. And I'll come up with a question. I will. I really, really will. I absolutely promise. Christmas cards. Do y'all got your Christmas cards ready to go? Do you all still send out Christmas cards? I do. Christmas cards. When we're done here, I'm going to go mail these. Yeah. I sure am. Get them in the mail. And then I have to get a flat rate box because I'm sending a couple of books to a friend out in BC. And I have to get a little envelope because I'm sending something up to Irene. Golly gosh, I hope she's okay. Yeah, so that's the first half of the show. I'm just gonna, sit here and chat with you for another minute, get us to the half-hour point, and then I'm gonna play a little commercial for you and run and get another cup of tea. Yeah. Because another cup of tea is always good. Will I have enough? Oh, I should have enough time to get another cup of tea. Fingers crossed. If not, I might run off and go pour the tea. I'll have it all ready and I have to run in. I'll yell at you while I'm pouring the tea and then I'll run back in. It'll work. It'll get done. I'll get my tea. You guys will have a laugh at me running. It'll work. It'll be entertainment. Yeah, I'll tell you about that after because that's a long conversation. What else can I tell you about hockey in Windsor? We used to have these hockey awards every year up until COVID, and then of course everything got stopped, which really sucks. I'm hoping now that everything is kind of calmed down that we will get back in the winter to having our little hockey awards. So we have hockey awards. We've had a lot of NHLers come into them. It's been really exciting. There was one that I sat there. I went with my dad, and we went and blah, blah, blah. We stayed after because my dad was one of the organizers and I was his DD. So we're sitting there and we're chatting, and I'm sitting there chatting for like an hour with Guy Carbonneau. What did we talk about? I have no idea. I was so excited. I can't remember. I can't. I remember smiling a lot at him. And I remember what else? I remember agreeing with him a lot because I didn't know what else to say. I was a little younger at the time. But I remember just being so excited because for me at that age, when I was growing up, I could have met rock stars and movie stars and it would have been, hi, how you doing? It's really nice to meet you. Now you sit down a hockey star in front of me and I turn into a crazy little schoolgirl. Hi, I think my name is, I don't know. Seriously. I can do great with rock stars and movie stars. I've met TV stars, shook their hand. But yeah, put Patrick Waugh in front of me. I'm just thinking of a Montreal Canadian that Chris Chelios. Oh, put Chris Chelios in front of me. Oh, dear God, I'd melt. Yeah, I know. I'm a weird one. Have a good laugh at me because I think it's funny too. That's a good cup of tea. Yeah, so I'm going to take us to commercial and I'm going to run off and make a cup of tea. And then when we come back, we are going to talk about last week's giveaway and we're going to pull a name. And then we're going to talk about this week's giveaway. And I just thought of a question. We're going to remind you that hockey was dreamed up in Windsor, Nova Scotia in 1800. Those are the key words that you need to remember. I just thought of that. Yay. Pardon me. Here I am trying not to belch while I'm on camera. Okay, I'm going to go to commercial break. We are going to be right back in 2 minutes and 54 seconds. And when I get back, hopefully my tea will be done. And we'll talk about those giveaways. So I'll be back in 2:54. Talk to you in a sec.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
When you think of the number of unique products developed in the fields, kitchens, and labs at Legacy 420, it's hard to think that one stands out above the rest. But tell that to the thousands of people who have tried this amazing breakthrough product.
This is our Sacred Salve. This is actually our extra strength. It comes in 5 different strengths. It's all natural, all organic. It typically works within 10 to 15 minutes of putting it on. It's good for arthritis, it's good for inflammation, any kind of pain. We're very proud of it.
Sacred Salve, so easy to apply, along with soothing relief. To select a strength that's right for you, come in and talk to your trusted partner. Legacy 420 out on your road.
Pace Radio Network, by patients, for patients, and for those who want to know.
Did you know that the Pace Radio Network isn't just a radio network? That's right, because most, but not all of our programming is now done via video and is then podcasted at paceradio.net. So if you want to watch our programming, you'll find us on the Pace Radio Network's Facebook page, plus the show's own page, and you'll find us live on the network's YouTube channel. And don't forget, you can find it all, video and audio, at paceradio.net.
Enjoy the buzz of legalization with Campbellford Lifestyle Shop. From lights to plant nutrients, books, consumption accessories, and more, we've got all your basics to grow or consume cannabis. Visit our info center or take a look at our piercing services and body jewelry, now available in-store through Campbellford Lifestyle Shop, 17 Bridge Street West, Campbellford.
Let's share Pace everywhere. That way it can help create peace. People everywhere advocating cannabis education. You're listening to the Pace Radio Network, here at paceradio.net.
I love those commercials. Hey, Al's joined me. Hi, Al.
Hi, Cindy. How you doing?
I'm doing really good. How are you?
Not too bad. I was watching the show, and I noticed that you're by yourself, and you were talking hockey.
Yeah.
And I thought, wow, Cindy's talking hockey. All right, but she's almost by herself. I thought, well, hey, I got some time. I thought I'd just drop by and see what you're up to.
There you go. That's perfect. Yeah, talking hockey. I live in the birthplace of hockey. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I heard you talking about the sticks or the roots to make sticks and stuff like that.
Yeah, it was pretty cool the way that they worked it, because they take the natural curve of the tree. They didn't know back in the 1800s. They didn't figure out how to bend wood yet for a while, or get to glue it together. So yeah, the Mi'kmaq were paid. The indigenous people here were paid to make hockey sticks, and they went out and found the best hockey sticks there were. I
guess, hey.
Yeah.
I was a former hockey coach at one time. I wasn't very good at playing hockey though. Yeah, sometimes it's just better at teaching than actually doing.
Yeah, sometimes that happens. Sometimes that happens. Yeah, no, it's the two gentlemen. Like I say, I worked for one at the museum for a couple of years. The two gentlemen were best friends, and they just wanted to find out where their favorite where their favorite game came from. So they started researching hockey. And little did they know that they were coming back here to Windsor at the end of it. Yeah.
Hey, it's a Canadian sport.
It is. It is truly a Canadian sport. Yeah. A truly maritime sport, a truly Nova Scotian sport. It's just really kind of cool. And the sad thing was when they got to the end and figured it out, and it came down to there was two ponds. The two gentlemen, the town owned one pond, and one of the gentlemen owned the other. And the two best friends started fighting over which pond was Long Pond, and it ended their friendship, sadly.
Oh, that's sad.
It
Fighting over a pond.
Fighting over a pond. I mean, they could have told the story. They could have named them both Long Pond. They could have let people come along for 50 years and listen to the story and try to figure out which one it was. It could have been a lot for tourism, but sadly, it didn't end up that way.
No. Do they have a hall of some type of building there that commemorates hockey starting there?
Well, we had a museum.
A pole someplace.
Yeah, like I ran the museum for 2 years. One gentleman ran it for 4 or 5 years, and then he retired. And you know, my dad became part of it. And when they needed a new curator, him knowing my love of hockey, he came to me and said, would you be interested? And I'm like, well, yeah. But sadly, the tourism didn't go as we were hoping. We did become sister cities with Cooperstown down in the United States. That is the birthplace of baseball.
With their Hall of Fame down there for baseball.
We have not enjoyed the same, I don't even know what to say, but the same benefits of being the birthplace of whatever. Right now, there's still a lot of arguments. Montreal is screaming that they're the birthplace of hockey. There's a place over in Europe that's screaming that they're the birthplace of hockey. But we have so many facts that support it. Like, I mean, it's not just the stories from the boys, but the first hockey skate was made here long before hockey was anywhere else.
Right. Okay.
Right. It was made in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia by Star Skates. And yeah, so
I don't know the name of the company. I'm not good at that end of things. I just know that they were uncomfortable on my feet when my feet got cold.
Yeah, I don't have the balance on skates, so I never played hockey.
Right.
But I was a huge fan of watching the game and watching the NHL when I was a kid.
It was, well, that's the thing. When we were kids, we were going out on the ponds and stuff, and playing hockey, and that's when I found that really, bothered my my feet. But you don't see that like we used to, at least here, anyways. To see those kids out on the rink or out on the pond, just playing shimmy, just trying to, keep the puck away from each other, or set up little snow piles in order to make nets or anything like that.
Yeah.
Inside.
Technology has really ruined that.
When I was coaching hockey, and this was back in the 90s, it's actually 30 years ago this season that we won all Ontario. And one of my assistant coaches, he used to always get so upset at the kids, saying, "You're spending too much time on your Nintendo. You got strong fingers, you got weak wrists, trying to shoot the puck and pass and stuff like that, eh?"
Yep.
And he lamented about the old times when kids used to go out onto the ponds and play. That's what we did.
Well, I mean, if we didn't have school to go to, we didn't want to sit around our homes. We were up and gone. I mean, if it was cold, if it was hot, if it was raining, we were out doing we'd have breakfast, we'd run home and get some lunch. That never took very long, and we'd be back out hanging out again until we heard our names being called from 10 houses away faintly.
Or the street lights. I guess the street.
Street lights or whatever, right?
In the wintertime, the street lights are on before dinner, so.
Yeah. But I miss those times. And it's scary. Like even though that's how I grew up, and that's honestly how my daughter grew up, and she's 30, my grandkids aren't growing up that way. It's not the same. Like you don't let your kids go out roaming the streets for hours and hours and hours. Like, when I was my granddaughter's age, 8 years old, my mom didn't know where I was half the time in the neighborhood. All she knew was that I was in the neighborhood.
You're in the area. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know we're out here in the country, and there's a pond right out my window here. And once it gets solid, my son-in-law goes out there and he clears it all off so the kids can go out there and skate.
Cool.
Yeah, it's just keeping at it. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Now that we're here, I'm sure that once it's ready, we'll have a full-time Zamboni.
There are a couple of families that make a skating pond in their yards around here every year. So you'll go out, there'll be like this little mini ice skating thing. Yeah. And so they do that. We did. Yep. Kick the kids out.
We had a rink out in the backyard when we lived in Campbellford. And I only had a 33 or was it 30-foot wide lot. And so we would take as much as that as we could and turn it into a rink out in the backyard. And I had a floodlight on the house that overlooked everything. And then once my son was no longer playing hockey at that time, the neighborhood kids came over and they played on it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I said,
That's
they,
awesome.
they call ahead of time or whatever, and I'd say, yeah, sure, come on down. Kids from the hockey team or whatever.
Yep, just wanting to practice or play or get some exercise or whatever.
Yeah. Weren't sitting at
Kids.
home on the internet those days, I'll tell you.
Yeah, kids don't want to do that anymore. And I'm speaking stereotypically because there are some kids out there that still do. Like I said, otherwise these families around here wouldn't be making little rinks out there. But
yeah, and I'm always happy when I see one of those little rinks out there.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah,
same here.
exactly.
I think it's exciting to see. It's like, well, there's a family that really wants to hang out and play outside in the snow. Yeah.
So do they have like a provincial championships down there in Nova Scotia? Like I mentioned here, we had the Ontario championships that the team that I coached on. We won that year back, 30 years ago. But do they have stuff like that in Nova Scotia?
Yeah, we do. Like, I mean, like it's like, the junior double A's or triple A's or whatever they call them now. And they'll have their regional playoffs, and then they'll go and play against the province, and and we do all that, and it's exciting for them, right? It's and it's also kind of scary. A friend that I grew up with, his oldest plays hockey, and he's bantam triple A or what he's one of those, he's I think he's 16.
Very good.
So yeah, he's really good. And there was a really bad check that landed him back on his back, and he hit his head. And so there's scary things like that. But I mean, the young fella is going to be okay. And he's going to continue to play hockey. He's just right now he's at home. He's sore and he's pissed off. He's not playing.
Well, yeah, I know. Just before I got out of hockey, that's when they started bringing out the stop signs on the back of the shirts and the shoulders in order to remind the kids. Because I know, there was a few games over the years that I coached where, kids did get hit from behind into the boards, even though it was, accident or last minute turn. Either way, an injury is an injury, right? And a neck injury can be very dangerous and serious.
Yeah,
and
he's
that.
This young fella, he's lucky it wasn't, he didn't get a neck injury. He ended up with bruised muscles in his back, but his spine and his neck and his bone structure is okay. And his nervous system is okay. So he was really, really lucky.
Good.
But it knocked the wind out of him. It took him a couple of seconds to be able to breathe again. I think the worst thing was probably for mom and dad sitting up in the right. They're not allowed down on the ice.
Yeah, exactly. Because the coach has got to go out there and deal with it. And
you got to let the medical people do what they're doing. And
yeah, exactly. Let them do it. They're the ones who are trained on it. And, anytime you see something wrong. So go ahead.
So last week's giveaway, we only had 2 people that got the answer right.
Okay.
So picking somebody is going to be really easy. We're gonna have we've got Virginia Tennant. Just so you know, Virginia, you got in and you were right. And then we have the other lady is Andrea Vino. She got in and she was right. So now I'm going to fold these up, and I'm going to take this down off camera and fold them up, and I'm going to shuffle them around, and I'm going to put one in one hand. So this is my right hand with love on it. And this is my left hand with free on it. And you have to pick love or free.
Let's do the love and open the hand right there, and we'll see what it is.
Andrea Vino, you are last week's winner. Well, that's exciting.
There you go. Congratulations, Yay. Andrea.
Yay. So we will keep that. I will pass that along to Irene. We will get your address over email, and we'll get that out to you. That's awesome. That's all awesome. Right. Yay.
Good stuff.
Yay.
So do we have a question for this week?
We do. This week we are giving away, I've got a t-shirt and a lanyard and a couple packs of papers and some stickers. It's an East Coast Stoners t-shirt. It's an extra large. And the question for this week is, yay, Andrea. The question for this week is, what year was hockey developed here in Windsor, Nova Scotia? I've mentioned it a few times, and I'll tell you one more time. It was the year of 1800. So email at T and Toke. We have a page here that I can bring up while I'm talking. Look, email us at tandtoke@hotmail.com before 7 p.m. next Monday evening, and you can be in to win the prize pack of, we have a little icy pot sample, pack of Gizeh papers, a pack of papers with filters, a lanyard from the upcoming celebration, 420 celebration in British Columbia. I have some stickers, mushroom stickers, cannabis stickers, and a East Coast Stoners t-shirt that we are giving away this week.
Awesome.
Yes. Yes.
All
They
right.
have all been supporters of me. Everybody here has been a supporter of mine since I started doing the giveaway show 3 years ago.
Wow.
So yeah, I love to throw support back to them and just give a shout out. If you can make it out to Vancouver this year, Three Happy Cats is going to put on an amazing show. We thought back in the last one that we had before COVID, which they reached just about 10,000 people on Sunset Beach. We thought that was big. And this one looks like it's going to outdo that. And they want me to stand up in front of anybody and speak. This is going to be great. I can't wait. So if you can make it out to Vancouver, it's going to be a time. There's a 420 Cup going on as well the day before at the New Amsterdam Cafe. So it's really exciting. And then East Coast Stoners Cannabis Toggery. Tristan gives me t-shirts. This is the last t-shirt I have. And once I tell him that, I'll probably get a stack of more t-shirts.
Some more to hand out. It's good that these people supply you with the stuff in order to give away. It keeps it within the community.
It does, and it gets them out there too. And I love to talk about people and things that I love. So it works well, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It works well. It's a lot of fun. It's always fun to give stuff away. So email teaandtoke@hotmail.com and tell Green Irene and I what year hockey was invented here in Nova Scotia. And of course, not that it's part of the answer, but I mean, that is an approximate year. There were talks about it before that, and more talks about it after that. But they picked 1800 because it was a nice round number. And the boys started playing it probably in about 10 years before that, but got really serious with writing down rules at the year 1800.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, it sounds like an easy year to remember too.
It is. Yeah. 1800.
That's like 3 600-watt lights in a garden.
There you go. Yes. Yes. You have a triple light garden. What do they add up to? That's what you email me. 1800.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Good.
So I got an advent calendar. I got 2 advent calendars. I purchased one and the other one was gifted to me. The one that was gifted to me is an edible calendar and it's flipping phenomenal. I mean, every day has been like 50 milligrams or more. They're giving me exciting things. Today I got capsules. I got shatter capsules. So it's been wonderful.
Nice.
And then the smokable one ended up with a bunch of accessories in it, but they're sending me replacements. They're sending me like days replacements.
I seen that you were upset and wondered how in this necklace or whatever it was a bracelet or something.
It was a keychain.
Keychain. Okay. Oh, is that okay? All right. Yeah, it's not smokable.
No. So anyway, I messaged them and I tried not to be too harsh. But then when they messaged back and they took a look at things, they said, "Oh my goodness, you're right, and we're so sorry." So they fixed their advertising and they're sending me 12 replacements for the 12 days. And
was there 12 non-smokables in a 20? Oh,
12 out of 25. So what I did was I just put them all in a bag.
Yeah.
And I'll reach my hand in every morning and pull one out. And then add the replacements in there, and then I'll still get a 25-day advent calendar.
Yeah. Can you? I don't know whether there's those things you could just add them to the stuff that you're giving away.
Yes. Well, that's what this is going to be. At the end of it all, it's going to be the non-smokable part of my advent calendar at the end of the month that I'm going to give away. It'll actually make a nice little prize pack.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, you're putting it to use. You're turning something that was a negative into a positive.
Absolutely. And I told them that too. And I said, just so you know, I'm not planning on keeping it and getting like 36 things or whatever. I'm going to use it as a giveaway. And they said, "Oh, that's just absolutely wonderful." So yeah.
Yeah, good.
Yeah,
So they know all that
it's
stuff.
something nice. So eventually this will be up for a giveaway. I mean, there's a lip balm, there is a pipe, there is a lanyard, there is a little tiny mini grinder, but it's cute. It has a peace symbol on it.
Oh yes. Well, it gets you a small nug in there. You can grind that up. Just enough for a bowl, right?
Yep. Yeah. So yeah, this will be a prize pack probably next week. Yeah. And I think it's wonderful of them. And they're just as excited with me giving away the prize pack as I am.
So obviously you've opened up the rest of the doors on the calendar to find out what's in them.
I did, because I had 6 days and I opened like 3 out of the 6 days. 50% of it was a non-smokable.
Oh, because I was thinking there's that meme that's going around on Facebook that says, I've only got 3 more days left. It's only 3 more days left to Christmas according to my Advent calendar. Right? Was that you?
Yeah. So yeah, no, I mean, but they once they realized what was going on, they went back and checked their website. And like I said, they apologized. They changed their advertising so it was true. And then they said that they will replace the 12 items with something smokable. And they're gonna send me 12 separate.
Yeah. Okay. And then they're not changing the rest of the calendars, but they've obviously changed the information on the calendar.
Yeah. So people will expect the correct thing.
Correct. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, exactly.
Yep. So and I'm not going to show you any more of these things. So if you get a calendar, if you have a calendar, I'm not going to ruin it for you. There's just I'm not going to show anybody the rest of the things. But I mean, yeah, it's like I say, there's a few things here, and it'll make a fun prize pack.
I was down to Legacy 420, and I seen that they had the Advent calendars out.
Oh yeah,
available. Yeah. I didn't buy one. Instead I bought a bunch of mango juice that's infused.
Oh, you know what I really like from them? The cream soda pop.
Oh, really? Eh? That'd be
very delicious
nectars. Oh yes. Yeah. Unfortunately, I can't drink pop, so I couldn't tell you how good it was.
It's delicious.
I just drink the juices, and
everything's very true to flavor with everything I've had there. Like I've had pop, I've had lemonade, I've had a few different things. And so when you're drinking it, I'm always looking for that cannabis taste because I don't like it. So I'm always waiting on it. And I can't taste any cannabis in any of the edibles or the pops or the juices that I brought home from them.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. They use whole plant in their products, all their products. But they have a way to help cover up that taste or remove that cannabis taste that some people don't like, the chlorophyll.
Yeah. And some people like it. I mean, some people, if they can't taste cannabis in there, they enjoy the taste of cannabis. They like to have the taste of cannabis because it tells them that they're eating cannabis. So
go ahead.
So I'm just not one of them.
Yeah, I've seen people where they say, well, there's nothing in this, I can't taste it.
Yeah.
Right? Some people don't want to taste it, but if they don't taste it, they don't think it's there.
And that can be mind over matter for sure.
Could be. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
So
I really enjoyed, and when I was at Legacy, they treated me very well as well. Right.
Good.
I'm part of the family. Oh, you're from Pace, so you're part of the family.
I was down to see them on Thursday. That's when I picked up the mango juice. So I was there. It was on sale. I thought, hey, nice. I took on some of my garden because they were doing. They had for November. They had cannabinoid testing all on sale.
I saw that. Yeah.
So I took down some buds from my outdoor garden to test, as well as I've got some coconut oil, some CBD infused coconut oil that I make myself. I've taken it in the first time I've ever taken it in to get it tested to see what it is. And it is mainly a CBD plant. There's very little, there won't be very much THC in it, but I want to know how the CBD is on it. And then I took in some rosin that was just freshly squeezed.
Cool.
It was only like 3 days prior to that. and I took that in and going to get them to test that as well.
Nice.
Just see what it's like. Yeah.
Nice.
So I've had the bud tested by them, and I've had bud tested by another company back in 2012, and it was actually the same strain on both tests, and they worked out pretty, basically the same.
Wow.
So I'm interested to see what happens now after all these years. It's been 10, 12 years since I originally had that strain tested. So it'd be interesting to see if it has changed much over all that time. And this time going outdoors instead of indoors.
Yeah. Well, that'll be exciting.
Yeah. So I expect a little bit different result.
That's awesome.
So
if you ever want to get your buds tested, like Legacy 420 does it. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Cannabinoid testing, terpenes, all that type of stuff. Depends on what you want done.
That's wicked.
Yeah.
That's wicked. That's awesome. Yeah. It's good to know that they do that kind of stuff, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people out there that grow, and a lot of people are just getting into the terpenes now. They're starting to realize that it's not your THC or CBD content really that tells you if that bud's going to work for you. That'll help with your high and whatnot, but it's what's in there for the terpenes. And so it's nice to be able to follow the terpenes, and then you know what other strains you should be looking for once you know what you like.
Yeah. Just so you know, I'm watching the time.
Yep, me too. Me too. It is about that time. So we are going to say thank you for joining. Congratulations once again, Andrea. And remember, what year was hockey born in Nova Scotia, Canada? And the answer is 1800. So email Green and Irene at teandtoke.com. teandtoke@hotmail.com. Oh my good Lord. But that's it. I will see you guys on Thursday. I think we have the Pace Radio show tomorrow. Reefer Reporters on Thursday.
Psychedelic and cannabis education news on
good
Thursday.
Lord. See, I knew I was going to be the first one that got it wrong. Nice. Yay, I did not disappoint. And we'll see all you guys next week here. Thanks.
Bye-bye. You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
The views expressed by the individuals during this broadcast are their own opinions, and they may not be the same as those of their group or other organizations they may be involved with.
When you have a pain that's reached its peak, Legacy for 20, it's so unique. If organic cannabis is what you seek, here's your trusted partner 7 days a week. Suppository salves, vapes and drops, topicals, edibles, infused pop. Just when life seems like it ain't easy, at Legacy 420, enjoy a pop freezy. Lab tested products, make them the GOAT. Legacy 420 out on your road. Legacy 420 in Tyendinaga Mohawk territory. Indigenous organic cannabis at its finest.
What do you find at paceradio.net? People advocating cannabis education.
Enjoy the buzz of legalization with Campbellford Lifestyle Shop. From lights to plant nutrients, books, consumption accessories, and more, we've got all your basics to grow or consume cannabis. Visit our info center or take a look at our piercing services and body jewelry, now available in-store through Campbellford Lifestyle Shop, 17 Bridge Street West, Campbellford.
We are people advocating cannabis education here at paceradio.net.